Memory Lane, Fitness for the Mind, is more than just a name. Our memory lane, we will seek to exercise the brain, enhance memory, and maintain independence. Our Fitness for the Mind program has been developed to uniquely focus on a resident's strengths. Using those strengths, we then implement personalized therapeutic programs that have been specially designed to focus on existing memory function, allowing us to exercise the brain. Our therapy team will complete an in-depth assessment of each individual to target his and her learning abilities. Enrichment programming will be offered throughout the day that is catered to that person's specific cognitive abilities. These programs are designated to enhance those abilities as well as provide opportunities for social interactions, intellectual stimulation, as well as recreation.
What a needed resource for this community. And I commend Liberty Village to bringing this needed resource here that will enhance the standard of living, the life quality for members of our community that suffer from memory loss. Millions of Americans nationwide suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's related diseases. And all of us are touched by that. I would say that almost every one of us here today have had that experience of having a loved one or a friend or a family member who has been afflicted with one of these illnesses. Physical fitness is something that we can do to combat that. Exercise, physical stimulation. So if that were true for our bodies, why would not the same thing be true for our mind? Mental exercise, mental stimulation can help us combat the effects of memory loss. That is what this program is about.
Charles Stanley was a great preacher, and I happened to become good friends with the lady who ran the commissary at his church for a number of years. Her name was Miss Joyce. She was a member at our church. And Mr. Bob, her husband, was in the choir with me, and he broke his hip. Well, Miss Joyce had Alzheimer's, so they needed somebody to come and sit with them a couple times a week. So when I had time off of school, I went over to sit with them. And I'll never forget, one day Miss Joyce was telling me about her daughter, and she was telling me how this daughter would never come and visit her, and she'd start crying, and it just made her so sad. And I had never heard of this daughter before, so one day I'd heard about the other daughter, but not this one. And so I asked Bob about her one day, and he told me she died. She died over 20 years ago, but Miss Joyce just couldn't remember. But you know what she could remember? Every week I took her to the grocery store, and she loved it. And she would tell all the people at church how I took her to the grocery store. She loved going on walks, and every time I came over, she wanted to go for a walk. I say these things just to tell you, I love to hear the fact that you're focusing on strengths, focusing on the things that the people can do well, because those are the kinds of things that help them remember.
I've experienced this with my family several times with loss of memory and things, and it's really can be very difficult. And just the fact that they've made this investment to make our community better is just beyond belief for me.